always much important than work. But I love my job, and then I...
Lovely viewers, you are not going to believe what just happened. The entire internet is buzzing, and fans are in absolute shock because Song Jung Ki has finally spoken about the one topic everyone thought he would never address again. His relationship with Song Hye Kyo. And not just a casual mention, oh no. He opened his heart, and the words he said have left millions of fans emotional, teary-eyed, and unable to move on. Jung Ki admitted that letting Song Hye Kyo go was the biggest regret of his life. Can you even imagine the weight of that confession? After all the silence, after all the rumors, after everything that's been said in the past, he finally gave us a raw, unfiltered truth that no one saw coming. So here's what went down. In a recent interview that was supposed to be about his upcoming project, the topic unexpectedly shifted to love, relationships, and personal growth. At first, Jung Ki kept it light, smiling as he spoke about how much he's learned over the years. But then, the interviewer asked a question that stopped him cold. Is there any decision in your life you wish you could change? For a moment, he just sat there, silent, staring down at his hands. And then, in the softest voice, he said something that broke everyone's hearts. I let her slip away. That's the biggest regret of my life. Lovely viewers, the moment those words left his lips, you could feel the tension in the room. Everyone knew who he was talking about. There was no need for him to say her name because the entire world knew he meant Song Hye Kyo. The interviewer, visibly shocked, asked if he wanted to explain further. That's when Jung Ki's voice trembled, and he continued, when you love someone that deeply, they become a part of your soul. No matter what happens, they stay with you. I thought I was doing the right thing. But looking back now, I realize I made a mistake I'll never be able to undo. Can you feel the weight of those words, lovely viewers? This wasn't a scripted answer. This wasn't something prepared by a PR team. This was raw, real, and straight from the heart. And it's left fans asking a million questions. Why now? What made him speak up after all this time? And most importantly, does this mean he still loves her? And it gets even more emotional. He didn't just stop there. He admitted that no matter how much time has passed, some feelings don't just fade away. He said, people think time heals everything, but there are wounds that never fully close. You just learn to live with them. Lovely viewers, doesn't that sound like a man who still carries so much love and pain in his heart? Fans are flooding social media with messages like, Jung Ki still loves Hye Kyo. This is the closure we all needed. And even, what if this is his way of reaching out to her? Some are even saying this could be the beginning of a new chapter, though others think it's just his way of expressing regret. Now let's talk about the reaction because, oh my goodness, the internet is in total chaos. Twitter, Instagram, and every K-drama forum you can think of is exploding with reactions. Some fans are crying, saying they always believed he still loved her. Others are torn between happiness that he's finally being honest and sadness because the reality is they've both moved on in their own ways. But one thing everyone agrees on. This confession feels like something straight out of a K-drama script. The heartbreaking kind that makes you cry buckets because it's so real. But there's more, lovely viewers. After making that confession, Jung Ki gave a small, bittersweet smile and added, I hope she's happy. Truly happy. That's all I can wish for now. That line. Those words. They're echoing all over the internet right now because they show just how much love and respect he still has for her. He's not bitter. He's not angry. He's simply a man who once had something beautiful, lost it, and now carries that weight with grace and pain all at once. Fans are calling this the most honest interview of his career, and honestly I couldn't agree more. But this brings us to the big question, lovely viewers. What does this mean? Do you think this was just a heartfelt confession with no strings attached? Or could it be a sign that deep down, Jung Ki wishes for another chance? And what about Song Hye Kyo? How will she feel hearing this? Will she respond? Will she ignore it? Or will this open the door for a conversation they never had before? These are the questions everyone is asking right now, and the speculation is only growing by the minute. Some fans are even creating theories. One popular theory is that Jung Ki decided to speak up because of everything that's been happening lately. Hye Kyo's happiness, the massive attention around her life now, and maybe even his own reflections about the past. Another theory is that he's been carrying this guilt for so long, and he just couldn't hold it in anymore. Whatever the reason, one thing is clear. This moment has changed everything. It's reopened old wounds for fans, stirred old emotions, and reminded the world of the love story that once captured millions of hearts. So now I want to hear from you, lovely viewers. How do you feel about Jung Ki's confession? Did it make you emotional? Do you believe he still loves her? And do you think there's even the slightest chance for them to reconnect? Or is this truly the end of a chapter that can never be rewritten? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is one conversation we're all going to be talking about for a long time. And stay tuned, because you know this story isn't over. If Song Hye Kyo responds, or even if her friends or representatives drop a subtle hint, I'll be right here to break it down for you. Until then, keep the tissues close, because this love story, even in heartbreak, still finds a way to make us feel everything. The ripple effect of Jung Ki's words is bigger than anyone imagined, and as hours go by, the reactions are only getting stronger, deeper, and more emotional. People all over the world are not just talking about it, they're feeling it. It's like this one statement reopened a love story that everyone thought had been sealed away forever, and now fans can't stop wondering what happens next. So let's dive into what's happening right now. The moment that interview clip hit the internet, hashtags like hashtag Jung Ki regret, hashtag Hye Kyo forever, and hashtag biggest regret started trending worldwide. Twitter exploded within minutes. Instagram flooded with emotional edits of their past moments, and fan forums that have been quiet for months suddenly came alive. People are posting old wedding photos, screenshots from Descendants of the Sun, and even old interviews where Jung Ki used to talk about how much he admired and loved Song Hye Kyo. It's like the entire fandom collectively pressed rewind on time, going back to those days when their love story felt like a fairy tale unfolding in front of our eyes. But it's not just fans. Media outlets have picked up the story, and now headlines everywhere are screaming things like, Song Jung Ki breaks silence on Song Hye Kyo, and Jung Ki calls his divorce his biggest regret. Every news channel, every entertainment blog, every social platform is buzzing with one question. Why now? Why did he decide to say this at this moment in his life? And here's where it gets even more intriguing. Some insiders are claiming that Jung Ki has been reflecting a lot lately, especially after the birth of his child with his current partner. They say that becoming a father made him realize certain things about love, family, and the decisions that shape our lives forever. Others believe it's because of how much attention Song Hye Kyo has been getting lately. Her resurgence in the industry, her happiness, and her strong presence in the media might have triggered old emotions he's been keeping locked away for years. Lovely viewers, doesn't that make you wonder if deep down he still feels that connection? The way he spoke, the tone of his voice, the look in his eyes, this wasn't just a man casually talking about a past mistake. This was someone carrying the weight of a love that meant everything to him, a love he still can't fully let go of. And fans have noticed that too. People are analyzing the video frame by frame, saying his expression changed completely the moment the topic came up. His smile faded, his voice cracked, and for a split second, he looked like someone who wished he could turn back time. And here's something even more shocking. Just hours after the interview aired, Song Hye Kyo posted a photo on her Instagram. Now, it wasn't a direct response. She didn't say anything in the caption except for a simple heart emoji and a picture of the sky at sunset. But you know fans, right? They're reading into everything, and now theories are flying everywhere. Was that her way of acknowledging the interview without words? Was it a subtle message that she saw it and maybe felt something too? Or was it just a coincidence? Nobody knows for sure, but that one post has already gotten millions of likes and thousands of comments, with fans begging for a sign that she still cares. And speaking of fan theories, there's another one going around that will give you chills. Some fans believe this confession isn't just random, it's his way of testing the waters, of sending a message to her indirectly. Think about it, lovely viewers. Why else would he speak so openly now, after years of silence? Why would he say something so deeply personal in a public setting, knowing the media storm it would create? People are saying it could be his way of saying, I'm still here, I still care. And honestly, the hopeless romantics out there are eating this up. They're flooding timelines with messages like, true love always finds a way, and if it's meant to be, it will be. But not everyone is reacting the same way. There are also fans who feel this confession might stir up pain for both of them, especially since they've built separate lives now. Some people are worried this will bring unnecessary drama or pressure into Hye Kyo's life, especially when she's been thriving so beautifully on her own. It's a fair point, lovely viewers, because as much as we love the idea of rekindled love, real life is complicated. And that's what makes this whole situation so intense, because it's not just about two celebrities. It's about two people who once loved deeply, who shared dreams, and who broke millions of hearts when their story ended. But here's something that might make you tear up. Fans have been sharing their own stories under the trending hashtags, talking about their biggest regrets in love, how they relate to Jung Ki's words, and how hearing him speak so honestly gave them courage to face their own feelings. Isn't that incredible? One simple confession from him has sparked a global conversation about love, loss, and second chances. It's like everyone is suddenly reflecting on their own lives because Jung Ki reminded us all that no matter who you are, no matter how famous or successful, love has the power to make or break us. And lovely viewers, the speculation doesn't stop there. Some insiders are whispering that producers and brands are already reaching out to both Jung Ki and Hye Kyo, hoping to reunite them in a project or even an ad campaign, because let's be honest, the world would explode if these two were seen together again, even professionally. Can you imagine the reaction if they did a drama together after all this? People would lose their minds. It would break every rating record in history. But the big question is, would they ever agree to it? Could they work together again after everything that's happened? Fans are praying for a yes, but only time will tell. Now let's take a moment to think about what happens next. Will Jung Ki make another statement to clarify his feelings? Or will he stay silent now that the internet is going wild? Will Hye Kyo respond in any way, even indirectly? Or will she let this moment pass without saying a word? These are the questions burning in everyone's minds, and honestly, lovely viewers, this feels like the beginning of something. Whether it's closure, a new understanding, or even a second chance, nobody knows yet. But what we do know is this. Their love story isn't just theirs anymore. It belongs to millions of fans who have been with them through every high and low. And right now, those fans are holding their breath, waiting to see what happens next. So tell me, lovely viewers, how are you feeling after hearing all this? Do you think Jung Ki's confession is just a moment of honesty, or is it something deeper? A sign that he still loves her and maybe hopes for one last chance? And if you were in Hye Kyo's place, how would you feel hearing this after all these years? Would it open old wounds, or would it warm your heart knowing he still cares? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I know you all have so much to say, and I can't wait to read every single one. And don't go anywhere because this story is far from over. After the initial shock wave, more layers of this emotional storm are starting to unfold. And trust me, you're going to want to stay with me until the very end because what's coming next will leave you speechless. So let's talk about the behind-the-scenes whispers that are now surfacing. Close friends of Jung Ki, people who have been in his inner circle for years, are allegedly revealing that this isn't just some offhand comment. According to these insiders, Jung Ki has been carrying this regret for a long time, and it took a lot of courage for him to finally say it out loud. One source even claimed that he's been journaling about his feelings, writing down moments he shared with Hye Kyo, memories that still haunt him, and what he would have done differently if he had the chance to turn back time. Can you imagine that? This isn't just a passing thought for him. This is something that has been living in his heart for years. And lovely viewers, the fans are diving deep into old interviews and finding every little hint that Jung Ki might have been missing her all along. They're pulling clips where he looked emotional when talking about their past, moments when he avoided questions about his divorce, and even award shows where his eyes seemed to search for her in the crowd. The leaked wedding video is like a treasure chest everyone is piecing together a puzzle of lost love. And the more you look, and with the more breathtaking details you discover. So buckle up, because this is going to take you even deeper into the world of Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo's wedding. Here's where things get everyone is calling the most iconic celebration of love in Korea entertainment are reporting that Jung Ki's management team was not prepared for this speculation at all. Let's start there because this wasn't scripted. It wasn't the way part of the interview video ended has left just came out naturally when the interviewer touched on the topic of regrets. Lee Min-ho and Can you imagine the chaos behind the scenes right now? Their faces glowing with joy and scrambling, trying to manage the media-frenzied film, while fans are flooding how much they didn't want to let go of each other. Like, true love never dies, resting on Min-ho's shoulder. If he still loves her, his protective arm around her, shielding
become
her from
more than
every
just a
angle.
celebrity story.
It's not just romance.
It's a global love
It's
discussion,
devotion, and the world
And now
notice.
let's shift our
People
attention
are
to
saying
Hye
that
Kyo
this is the
because
truest
lovely
form of
viewers,
love they've seen
you know
in a
the
long
world
time.
is watching her every
and
move
honestly,
right now.
it's hard to disagree.
Every photo,
but
every
here's where
story,
things get really
every
interesting.
like on Instagram
Where did they go
is being
after
dissected
that?
for clues.
Fans are combing
And her
through
recent
every
post,
detail
the one
in the
with the
leaked
sunset,
footage for
has
clues.
people going wild.
There's a moment where
Some
the camera
fans are
catches a glimpse of
convinced
their
it was her
luggage
silent
being
way
loaded
of
into the
acknowledging
car.
the situation.
And some viewers
While
claim
others
they think
saw
it's
tags
just
with the
coincidence
initials of a luxury
but let me
resort
tell
in
you
the
something.
Maldives.
Others
Some
think
Hye
they're
Kyo
heading
is
to Europe,
known for her
maybe
subtle
Paris or
messages.
Venice.
She
Because
doesn't
earlier
respond
in an
directly,
interview,
but when
Lee
she
Min-ho
does,
mentioned
it's
wanting
always
to take Hye
poetic,
Kyo to the
always
most romantic
meaningful.
city in the world.
So what if that
and then there are
sunset
rumors
post was
about
her
a
way
way
of
of
saying
saying
something
something
words
words
couldn't
couldn't
capture,
capture,
arranged by
the
one of their
mystery is
closest
killing
friends in the
fans.
industry.
And everyone
Whatever the
is
truth
refreshing
is,
her
one
page
thing is
every
certain.
5 minutes.
They've gone
hoping
somewhere
for a
spectacular
sign.
to start
Now
their new
here's a
chapter
twist
as
that
husband
nobody
and
saw
wife.
coming.
But the
Rumors
leaked
are
video
spreading
isn't
that
just
Jung
about
Ki
their
might be
exit.
planning something
It's
big.
also about the
And by
tiny,
big, I mean a
heartwarming
public
moments
gesture.
people keep noticing.
Some
the more they
insiders are
rewatch.
whispering that he
For
wants to
example,
do something
there's
that
a frame
shows
during
just
the
how much he
reception
meant
where you
those
see
words.
Lee Min-ho
Is it
holding
an
Hye
open
Kyo's
letter,
heels in his
a
hand,
social
discreetly
media
while
post
she laughs
dedicated
barefoot
to
on the
her,
dance floor,
or something
That's
even bigger,
right.
like
She
reaching
slipped
out
out of her
privately
shoes
and then letting the
instead
world
of handing
know.
them to an
We
assistant.
don't have confirmation yet,
He carried them
but the
himself
thought
like the
alone
true
is
gentleman
sending
he
fans
is.
into overdrive.
Fans are calling it the
Can you
ultimate
imagine what
husband
would
move.
happen if he wrote
And
something
honestly,
heartfelt?
doesn't that make
something
your heart
raw
melt?
and honest?
Another
for the world to
detail
see?
that sent
It
everyone
would
into
break
a
the
frenzy
internet
was when
in
the camera
seconds.
caught them sitting
But
at their
here's the
sweetheart
million-dollar
table during
question,
dinner,
lovely viewers.
leaning in so close.
What would Hye
Whispering
Kyo
and
do?
giggling like
Would she
teenagers in
embrace
love?
that gesture,
No
respond
staged
with
smiles
kindness,
for the camera,
or choose
no
to
forced
stay
poses?
silent?
Just
Because
two
we have
people
to
completely
remember,
lost in each other,
she's in a completely
sharing
different
inside
phase
jokes
of her
while
life
the whole
now.
world watched from
She's
afar.
strong, independent,
That lovely viewers
thriving
is
in her
what real
career,
love looks
and
like,
admired by
and
millions.
it's why this wedding
Does
feels
she want
so
to
different
revisit
from
anything
anything
we've
that
seen
brought her
before?
so much pain?
And then there's that
Or
song.
does she secretly
Oh,
feel
that
the same
unforgettable
longing he
song
does?
Lee Min-ho sang
These are the
during the
questions
reception.
fans can't stop
Fans
asking,
have been
and
analyzing
honestly, they might
every
not get
lyric
answers
and trying to
anytime
identify
soon.
the tune.
But that's what makes
Some
this so
believe it was a
captivating.
romantic ballad
And can we
from
talk
one of their
about how
favorite
the
dramas.
entire Korean
While others
entertainment
insist
industry
it
is
was an
reacting.
original piece he wrote
Big
just
names,
for her.
fellow actors,
The way his voice cracked
and even
with emotion
directors are
halfway
quietly
through,
watching all
the way
this
his
unfold.
eyes stayed locked on
Some of
hers
them
the
worked
entire
with
time.
both Jung Ki
It
and
was
Hye
like watching
Kyo
a
and
live
know their
confession
history
of
well.
love.
Even
Imagine
though they
the
were already
conversations
married by
happening
then.
behind closed
And when
doors.
she walked up to him in the
People
middle of the
wondering if this could
performance,
lead to something
hugged him
bigger,
tight
and maybe
whispered
even
something in his ear.
reconciliation.
That was
or
it.
at least a
The
renewed
internet
friendship.
exploded.
One
What
producer
did she
even
say?
hinted in an anonymous
Nobody knows
quote that
for
if
sure,
the timing
but
was
some
right,
fans claim they
he
read
would
her
love to
lips
cast
and that
them
she
in a
said,
project together
"Thank
again
you for
because
loving
in
me
his
this way."
words,
Their
if that's
chemistry
true,
is legendary.
then I don't think there's a
Legendary,
single heart
lovely
left
viewers.
unbroken after
That's
hearing
the
that.
exact word he
But let's
used.
not forget the
And it
guests
sent
because
fans
the leaked
into a
video
frenzy.
gave us glimpses
And
of
speaking
so
of
many
fans,
unexpected
some of
faces.
them are not just watching,
Some of the
they're
biggest
creating.
stars in the industry
TikTok
were there,
is full of edits
and their
of Jung Ki
reactions
and
were
Hye
priceless.
Kyo's old moments
There's a
set
clip
to
of Park
heartbreaking
Shin
love
Hye
songs.
wiping tears during the
Instagram
vows.
reels are
Another of
showcasing
Kim
their wedding
Soo-hyun
clips,
smiling so
emotional
wide it looked like
scenes
his
from their
cheeks
drama
might hurt.
and
then by
side-by-side
side comparisons of
the
their
one fans
interviews
are
then and
convinced
now.
with Song Jung Ki.
It's like the world has
Now,
collectively
this part of the
decided
video is
to
blurry,
relive their love
and the
story
person
all
tried
over
to stay
again.
out of the spotlight.
And let me tell
But
you,
the
these
speculation
edits are
won't stop.
powerful.
Some
people
people
make
are
you
saying
cry
he
because
came
they
as a
remind
sign
you
of
of a
peace,
time when love felt
a way
so
of
pure,
closing
so
old
unshakable,
chapters,
and wishing
and
him
yet,
well.
here we are.
Others think
Years
it's just
later,
a guest
still
who happens
hoping,
to
still
look like
dreaming.
him.
Whatever
Whatever
the
the
truth
truth
is,
the debate
doesn't
is
this make you
wild.
believe that
And
some
it's adding
stories
even
never
more
really
drama
end?
to an already
That even
historic
when the
wedding.
world thinks it's
And
over,
the family
the heart
moments,
knows
those
it's
are some of the
not.
most emotional
That's what
parts
this
of the
feels
video.
like.
There's
A
this
love story
heartwarming
that
scene
refuses
where
to
Lee
die,
Min-ho kneels
no
down
matter
to
how
hug
much
Hye
time
Kyo's
has
mother.
passed.
And you can
right
see
now,
tears
Jung
streaming
Ki's
down her
words
face
have
as she
opened the
holds
door.
his hands.
Even if just
That
a little,
simple gesture
to the
spoke
possibility of
volumes
something
about
we
the
all
respect
secretly
and
wish
love
for.
between between the families.
A second chance.
Another tender
But
moment
before
shows
we
Hye
get carried
Kyo's
away
father
with hope,
raising his
let's
glass
be
for a
real.
toast. Life is complicated.
His voice cracking as
they
he
both
says
have
something
their
about
own
finally
worlds now,
seeing his daughter
their own
smile the way she
responsibilities,
deserves.
and their own
Fans are
scars.
saying these are the
If
parts
they
of
ever
the video
cross
that
paths
make them
again,
cry
it
the
won't be
most,
the same
because
as
they show
before,
how
but
real and
maybe,
deep
just
this union
maybe,
is.
it could be something
Not just
new,
for the couple,
something
but
even
for everyone
stronger.
who loves them.
And that thought
But wait,
alone is
lovely
enough to keep
viewers,
fans holding
let's
their
talk about
breath,
the fan reactions,
waiting,
because the
watching,
internet
and
is
believing.
practically on
So
fire.
what do you think, lovely
People are
viewers?
creating edits,
Do you
writing
believe in
poems,
second
making fan
chances?
art.
Do you
and
think
even
translating
Jung Ki's
every single
confession
word
is the
from the
start of
vows so
something
that international
unexpected?
fans can feel
Or
the
is it
full
just a
impact?
bittersweet
Some
moment
fans
of
are calling
honesty
this
with
wedding
no future
the
behind
K-drama
it?
ending we
I
never
want you
knew
to
we
share your
needed.
thoughts, because
and
this
others
is
are
more
saying
than
it's
gossip.
the ultimate proof
It's a
that
love
true
story
love
that
exists
connects to
even
all
in the
of
world
us.
of fame and glamour.
And remember, I'll
One
be here
viral
with every
tweet
update,
said,
every twist,
I can't stop
and
watching
every
this wedding
hint,
video
because this story is
it's
far
like
from
watching
over.
two people's souls become one. Isn't that beautiful? And you know what? That's exactly what it feels like. And let's not forget the gifts. Reports are coming out that the couple exchanged the most thoughtful, personal gifts ever. while Lee Min-ho reportedly gave Hye Kyo that handwritten letter sealed for their anniversary. Sources say she gave him something equally touching, a leather-bound journal with